Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I saw Three from Hell, and I wanted to just give a little rundown of the movie and what I thought. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm not really going to spoil anything, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Um, Three from Hell is the third movie in a Rob Zombie trilogy, which started with House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now Three from Hell. So I really loved House of a Thousand Corpses when it came out. I thought it was like a more mystical feeling Texas Chainsaw Massacre with some goofiness. The second movie, Devil's Rejects, I liked a lot, but it definitely felt different. It was more of a like violent, sort of upbeat movie. And this third film feels more like Devil's Rejects, but more laid back. It's a little calmer of a movie, a little slower. I would even say middling or middle. It's middling, right? Middling at points. Though I did like it, so I want to say that first off. Um, Sid Haig, who played Captain Spaulding, who recently passed away in real life, is in the movie for a very small scene at the beginning. I found out after, like reading up on it and stuff, that Sid Haig was so sick he almost couldn't be in the movie, and he just did this really tiny part. Um, and then they rewrote the whole movie kind of quickly. Rob Zombie did, and got Richard Brake in the film to be another sibling of Baby Firefly, who is Sherry Moon Zombie, and Otis Driftwood, who is the other brother. So the main part of the main movie is Richard Brake, his character. I think his name is Foxy, if I remember. Baby Firefly and Otis Driftwood, hence the name Three from Hell. Um, I really liked how the second film ended, so I'm a little, I don't want to say disappointed that the third movie came out, but I thought the second film ended on a great note. I think this movie was sort of unnecessary, even though I did like it, especially because in the end of the second film, mm, I don't think anyone would really live through that, let alone be in the condition these people are in. So maybe they really are from hell. Um, it sort of reminded me a little bit of the Dudley Boys from ECW. There's a million different Firefly siblings, and or the Firefly family from the first movie, the second movie, this movie. So Richard Brake coming out of as one of their siblings in this movie wasn't too much of a stretch considering you know they're like Mrs. Wayne's. They just have a ton of kids. So the movie has a 70s kind of style, the way all of Rob Zombie's other films do. As I said, Sherry Moon Zombie is in it again, who is Rob Zombie's wife. It also has one of the gentlemen from 31, the disc jockey from Lords of Salem, the dwarf from Candy Corn and 31, Pancho Moeller. Danny Trejo is in it again. There's a lot of Rob Zombie favorites that he uses in his films that are in this movie that you'll recognize. So the story, as I said, is similar to Devil's Rejects. The Baby Firefly and Otis are trying to find a way to escape from prison. I'm not going to spoil too much, but they do get out. It's pretty violent and interesting on how they get out, but it is slow. And then they sort of go from place to place and figure out what they're going to do next. Meanwhile, one of the characters from the second film is in this movie briefly, and something happens with that character's member, and them. So the main plot is this family member and them colliding. The movie is pretty much like an on-the-run type of movie, just like the second film. One of the guys in the movie that I thought was funny to see was the two actors from the Mario Brothers film. There's the Italian guy with the bigger nose. He's in this. The movie has a lot of funny one-liners and just gratuitous violence. It's very crude and it's intense in ways, but I wouldn't say it was as intense as Devil's Rejects. Sylvia Jeffries from Eastbound and Down is in this, and she is naked for a small chunk of the film, and she aged pretty well for a 50-year-old woman. So I'm only 35, so to me it's a little older, but she's not old in the grand scheme of things. I think if you go into this movie expecting some like bombastic, over-the-top action film, you'll be disappointed. If you go in liking the second movie, Devil's Rejects, and watch this and like that sort of vibe and that style, you'll probably like this. I just feel like it was slower, more of a laid back approach overall. And though I did enjoy like the 70s kind of style, it takes place, I meant to mention this, it takes place 10 years after Devil's Rejects, so I think it's in 1988. I like the style, I like the cinematography, I like the outfits and the makeup, and everyone looks very grungy and trashy, just like Rob Zombie's other films. So I do like that. I just, as much as I liked it, I feel like there just wasn't necessary. I feel like the way the second one ended was really epic. It was a cool ending. It was violent and interesting. You don't usually see stuff like that in a movie. And then this one, they're back at it again. So I just felt like it was kind of unneeded. Though if you like the other film, you will probably like this. It is sad that Sid Haig wasn't in a lot of the film, but understandably, when I think he was 80, or in his 80s, you get older and you can't function the way you used to, and supposedly he wasn't doing well, and then he died recently, as I had said. I thought Pancho Moller played a pretty cool character. Um, he was the little person, as I said, from Candy Corn and 31. Richard Brake was also from 31. I want to say it was Doomhead. He was the bad guy in 31, who I thought was great in that movie. He definitely plays a more backseat approach in this film, but he's still very good, trashy and gross, sort of like Otis Driftwood. They sort of have that similar style. But yeah, I think people are bashing this because they expected some huge return to glory, and this really isn't that. It's more of the same of number two, not of number one. Number one's definitely a different feeling, but laid back, as I said. So I liked it. I felt it was unnecessary. When it goes to $10 or below, I'll probably pick it up on Blu-ray. It's a good, like, rooting for the bad guys, sort of intense in ways, actiony horror movie. It's not so much horror anymore, but it does have the violence. So people are beating the crap up out of this, and I think, like I said, they just didn't. They probably expected this huge return, and it just ended up being a little more subtle. Overall, it was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. I liked seeing all the characters. I liked seeing all the people he picked, and obviously the main characters back in the movie again. So let me know what you guys thought if you saw the movie. Did you feel it was unnecessary, kind of how I did? Uh, Check it out if you like the other films. I think you'll like it. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.